All right, we will get started with our end of practice press conference today. Joined by the driver of the number 9 PNC Bank Chip Ganassi Racing Honda, Scott Dixon. Second fastest on the day with a lap of 226.329 miles per hour. Scott, just there to take us through your day and how you think it went for you.
Hello? There we go. Sorry. It started off kind of average. You know, I think the car was decent. The conditions were probably more favorable around lunchtime. The heat of the day, we went through some struggles, went through some pretty big changes. You know, long story short, we ended up finding a couple of good changes, and the second to last run there was fairly decent as far as being comfortable and the car kind of being very consistent. So that was nice. But all in all, just you know, trying to get through the motions, trying to get through the test items, and yeah, that's it. If you find a big draft, occasionally take it. Not as good as Marco at that.
Speaking of big drafts, the fastest driver of the day. Welcome, Marco Andretti, driver of the number 98 U.S. Concrete Curb Honda. Marco, same question I just asked Scott. Take us through your day, how it went, how you felt it went, what kind of things you accomplished today.
Yeah, just still early days, but ticking off the boxes right now. You know, a lot of test items. We got through a ton of stuff actually today. It was a pretty productive day, and we got the car to almost there in traffic. We're not there yet, but you know, I'm sure everybody's dealing with a similar thing. But you know, we think we have a direction which is positive. You know, we just later in the week need to confirm that, hopefully. So yeah, I mean, it's same as him, just working away, see where we end up.
For both of you, has predominantly most of the work been on working in traffic, driving in traffic, not worrying about qualifying at this point?
I did a one run alone, which was pretty slow. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's 4 laps, and we got to stay flat for 4 laps. The car's going to go as quick as it's going to go. Just try to get the balance right. You know, I mean, pole's awesome, but you want to win the race. So we're always working on the race car more.
Scott?
Yeah, been our focus. I think our qualifying cars have been good in the past couple of years, but our race cars have been not as good. So yeah, we just ran full downforce all day and tried to work with the car and find better combinations just for being comfortable in traffic and trying to get the car a little more grip. So yeah, we didn't even attempt anything like trimming it.
All right, let's open it up for questions. Raise your hands, please. You have wireless microphone. We'll start right down here in front.
For both of you guys, when you look at the entire week long of practice, how valuable is it and how necessary is it to have that much practice? And how much do you guys worry about getting too much information to the point that maybe you guys confuse yourselves in what direction to go?
I don't know if it's too much information, but when you're good, you always want it to rain and go right into the race instead of giving other guys time to keep up or catch up. But this place is a humbling place. I mean, tomorrow you roll off with the same race car and could be 17th. So that's how the month goes. I prefer less practice, but you know, it's we say it's a month, but it's really like a week and a half. So it's not it's a lot, but it's not that much.
Yeah, it's just really condensed. You know, like days like today are just really long. You know, you're out running from 11 in the morning till 6 at night. You know, it's it used to be nice to have a proper lunch and kind of get the rest of the day broken up, but yeah, it is what it is. The same for everybody. Personally, I would like it, over a 2-week period, but it's just the way it is.
You guys are both on teams with multiple drivers. Does that help you guys check off the boxes a lot faster than maybe if you were the only ones out there for your team?
I think Marco has about 6 teammates. So I've one. So
yeah, I don't know. I've been really focused on the 98, to be honest with you. In the debriefs, I've just been having the blinders on and really focus on what we need. So a lot of times you find yourself leading the way when you do that. So so far so good. There's always things you can take and directions and stuff, but a lot of times you end up on quite different packages amongst the 6 of us, I guess you could say.
So Scott, conversely then, since you went from 4 cars last year to 2 this year, less data? Is it harder work for you guys?
It's a lot quieter with TK out of the room. He made lots of crazy noises. But yeah, no, it's you know, it's been good. You know, he's super laid back and really good to work with. And, you know, I think on that combination, you know, it's a little more difficult. Ed's trying to get up to speed with, you know, our package and our car. You know, so they've tried some interesting stuff. So, you know, debrief last night was good, and tonight I'm sure will be too. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think going from the size the team was with 4 cars down to 2 is definitely a different dynamic. But you know, it's too early to really say what's. There's always pros and cons either way.
Our meetings are too damn long, that's for sure.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
George.
Marco, these being new cars, is 227 about the tops on these new cars right now?
The top
Speed it's out there?
on this boost level in a tow, yeah, I think so. I think you know, he might be 228, 229 for pole. I don't know without a tow, because the difference the tow makes this year is huge. Like
It's
you run
big,
alone
yeah.
at like 221, and then you pick up a little tow and 227. So you're not gonna have that in qualifying. So, but you'll have the boost, so it'll probably be pretty close.
Go back to David right there.
We've seen a lot of people, yeah, easily able to tow up, but we haven't seen a whole lot of passing except when you guys are lifting and letting someone through. How much of an issue do you think the overtaking might be compared with last year? Is it tougher?
It's tougher, yeah. It'll be more, I think, a little bit more track position. Scott and I were talking about this earlier today, but I prefer to be track position. I prefer that once you get to the front and you have a good car, you should be able to stay there instead of be a sitting duck, right? So, however, I think if you're third or back in line, it's going to be very tough, and it's going to take discipline to wait for the guy to have a go and have a big wash up, and then you get him. So it'll be tougher to pass, but I prefer that.
Yeah, it's been interesting. The first 2 cars seem to be able to swap back and forth pretty easily, but as Marco just said, once you get third and back, and especially if you're fifth and back, it's really the washout seems to be a lot more this year, which is kind of interesting. You know, it's still early days with the car. I think we found some things that helped us, you know, today and helped that issue specifically. So, you know, the track temps are pretty high. You know, that typically follows in that category too. So, but yeah, even if the guy gets a bit of a washout lifts, but still has enough of a train in front of him, the acceleration is just insane. So. It's really hard to pass that guy if he does make a little bit of a mistake, whereas momentum seemed to be a bit of a key last year. But yeah, early days again.
One more question? Here, I'll just bring this one.
Andretti has 3 of the past 4 Indy 500 wins. I guess, do the new aero kits take away any advantage at all that you guys might have had in the past few years?
I don't know. We're P1 right now, but it's still early days, and you know, we don't know how the race is going to play out yet. The car feels good. It's just circumstances have to work out, really. I mean, this place picks the winners. I've had the best cars ever here, and not been victorious for some reason. So we just need to have a good enough car and good enough shot, and have circumstances work out for you. You know, I think this team's been extremely dominant the last couple years for sure, but we still feel good about things.
Any more questions? Then we'll wrap it up. Gentlemen, great day. Thank you.